Coming up on the British TV Watch List.
That performance won her the BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role in 2022.
From cozy mysteries to intense police procedurals, we talk about the characters, performances, series, and episodes from your favourite British TV shows.
Okay, picture a police station where the coffee's gone cold, the paperwork stacked to the ceiling, and the boss just called a suspect a name I can't repeat on this podcast. That's Friday Street Nick. That's No Offence. This show ran from 2015 to 2018, got 3 seasons, about 21 episodes. It was created by Paul Abbott, the same writer who gave us Shameless and State of Play. And if you know those shows, you know Abbott doesn't do subtle. He does loud and fast and messy with a real heartbreak hiding underneath. No Offence follows a team of detectives at Friday Street. It's a fictional police station standing in for the real Greater Manchester Police. All 3 seasons are streaming on BritBox and Acorn TV. And I believe you can catch it free with ads on Roku. Amazon Prime also carries it too, but you got to buy it. But zero excuses. It's all over the place. One of my absolute favorite British crime dramas. Season 1 centers on a serial killer targeting young girls with Down syndrome. It's a brutal subject, but handled with real care, and it gives the team something to fight for beyond the usual cop show stakes. That first season landed hard with critics too, opening with a tomato meter score in the low 90s on Rotten Tomatoes. Season 2, aired starting in January 2017, follows the team as they take on a Manchester crime boss named Nora Atta, played by Reiki Ayola. Season 3 was September 2018, 6 episodes there. This time the plot turns political, built around an attempted murder of a local politician by a far-right group. Heavy stuff every time, but Abbott always finds the laugh inside the horror. That's the trick of the show. It shouldn't work, but it does. Sadly, season 3 turned out to be the last one. Abbott talked about ideas for a 4th season back in October 2018, but by November 2019, executive producer Martin Carr confirmed on social media that No Offence would not return. No firm reason was ever given. Shows like this, they tend to get squeezed out by budgets and scheduling more than by quality. And the quality here was never in question. Really one of the true great crime shows. Abbott Vision, Paul Abbott's own production company, made the series. Paul Abbott and Martin Carr served as executive producers, with Hannah Ferguson and Simon Myers also producing across the 3 runs. Directors David Kerr and Harry Bradbeer shaped the visual style early on in season 1, and Catherine Morshead directed more episodes than anyone besides Abbott himself, staying with the show across all 3 seasons. Robert Quinn stepped in to direct later episodes. Abbott ran the show out of his own writer's studio in Manchester. Paul Tomlin wrote more episodes than anyone besides Abbott, and Tom Greaves, Mark Gregg, and Jimmy Dowdall all worked alongside them to keep the scripts sharp. That's a tight, consistent room, and it shows in how steady the show's voice stays across 3 very different storylines. The show picked up a BAFTA nomination. It also won Best Drama Series at the Royal Television Society Awards for its first season. Added up across the whole run, and No Offence collected 3 wins and 7 nominations total, plus an 8 out of 10 audience rating on IMDb from more than 7,000 voters. Real recognition for a show that never really got an audience it deserved. Now, let's talk about the cast. Elaine Cassidy plays DC Dinah Kowalska, the compassionate but impulsive one, always a half step ahead of her own better judgment. Alexandra Roach plays DS Joy Frears, promoted early in season 1 and thrown straight into the deep end. Will Malore plays DC Spike Tanner, part of that loud, big-hearted crew that gives the station its energy. Paul Ritter plays Randolph Miller, the hungover forensics genius nobody can replace and everybody kind of tolerates anyway. Colin Salmon plays Detective Superintendent Darren McLaren, the one man in the building who can go toe-to-toe with the boss and still come out losing. Sarah Soleimani joins in Season 2 as DCI Christine Lickberg, a new superior who has no interest in making friends with the team. Claire Rushbrook takes over as DCI Marilyn Marchant in Season 3, offering the team both a backup and a firm hand depending on the day. That's a deep bench of talent, and every one of them gets a moment to shine somewhere across the 3 seasons. And that boss, that's Joanna Scanlan. Scanlan plays Detective Inspector Vivian Deering. Everybody calls her Viv. She runs the station like she owns the building and half the city besides that. Foul-mouthed, fearless, funny, in a way that catches you off guard right before she breaks your heart in the same scene. I want to spend some real time on her because what Scanlan does in this role is really something special. Here's what gets me about Joanna Scanlan. She's not an actress with one gear. She's got range most performers would kill for. Before No Offence, she spent years playing Terry Coverley in The Thick of It, as the world's most hapless government press officer. Around that same time, she co-wrote and starred in Getting On, a dark comedy set on a geriatric hospital ward, and that show earned her 3 BAFTA nominations. 2 of those were for writing. So she's not just delivering lines somebody else wrote, she's building the characters from the ground up. Then look at her film work. She played Charles Dickens' wife in The Invisible Woman. She showed up in Girl with a Pearl Earring and Notes on a Scandal, small roles in big prestige films that still stuck with audiences. She played a supporting role in Bridget Jones's Baby, pure comedy, perfect timing. That was released in 2016 between the show's first 2 seasons. And in 2020, she took on the film After Love, playing Mary Hussein, a Muslim convert who discovers her late husband was leading a secret double life across the English Channel. That performance won her the BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role in 2022. She was the first actor since 2003 to win that award without an accompanying Oscar nomination. Critics called it a masterclass in restraint, a performance built on what she doesn't say just as much as what she does. That's the range. Government flunky, hospital nurse, Victorian wife, grieving widow, foul-mouthed detective inspector. Same actress, every one of them true. Later, she would go on to Slow Horses. A lot of people love that show. Gentleman Jack, The Larkins, and Riot Women. We've talked about that here on this podcast, proving that range never stopped growing. But for me, Viv Deering sits right at the center of it. Scanlan plays her with total conviction. She's funny, she's terrifying, and somehow she's tender, sometimes inside the same 30 seconds of screen time. That's an actress in complete command of her instrument. If you want complete command of your bathroom, no doubt you want to make sure you have the best luxurious bathroom goods. The place to shop is CozyEarth.com. Our promo code is the best deal you can get, up to 30% off when you check out. Towels of all sorts. The waffle towel has been popular lately. Check them out. Cozy Earth says their waffle towel will be better in 6 months than it will on day 1. BTVW1. That's our promo code, BTVW1. We get a small commission. You support our podcast, and you get a great deal at CozyEarth.com. Now, I want to talk about the writing itself, because this is where No Offence earns its reputation. Paul Abbott built his career on dialogue that moves fast and hits hard, and this show is maybe the purest version of that style. Scenes in the incident room don't unfold one character at a time. They explode. 5 or 6 detectives talking over each other, finishing each other's sentences, throwing insults and theories and jokes into the same 30 seconds of screen time. It sounds chaotic, but it plays like music.
You're chasing a girl who is evidently not Downs, who hasn't even been reported missing by her own family. This is nowhere near a 3.
It's the same girl.
A Catherine Calvert was riding up front on a double-decker when it did an emergency stop. Her x-rays show fractures on both of her cheekbones, a broken nose, extensive swelling.
She vanished within a very narrow radius of the other 2 girls.
If we made the mistake...
Fair dues, 'cause look at her.
Then so could he.
No. No. We've seen this before. You're not doing this to me again, Viv.
Those overlapping scenes were my favorite part of the whole show. You get Viv barking in order while Dinah's already halfway out the door, and Spike's cracking a joke nobody asked for, and Randolph mutters something filthy from the corner of the lab. Real police stations probably don't sound exactly like that, but it feels true anyway, because that's how a team under pressure actually talks. Nobody waits their turn. Everybody's got something to add. The writers had to time every line like a piece of sheet music because one beat off and the whole scene falls apart. That rapid-fire style takes serious writing skill. It's easy to write a scene where 2 people talk. It's hard to write 6 people talking at once and making every voice sound different. You need to know each character so well you could pick their line out of a lineup with no name attached. Abbott's writer's room pulled that off episode after episode, and the mix never stayed like one note. A scene could start as pure comedy, 5 cops trading insults over bad coffee or whatever, then turn on a single line into something devastating, and that whiplash was the whole appeal. This kind of writing traces straight back to Abbott's roots on Shameless. That show built its whole identity on a big cast talking over each other in a cramped kitchen, and No Offence takes that same engine and drops it into a police station. Paul Abbott himself described the show's tone as bipolar, jumping from jet black, laugh-out-loud comedy into fragile, painful material on what he called the turn of a sixpence. That's exactly the effect those incident room scenes create. 1 second, the whole team is trading insults over bad coffee and a stolen sandwich. The next second, somebody says one flat, understated line and the whole room goes cold. Actors have to be locked in to each other's rhythm to pull that off night after night, take after take. And this cast never once looked like they were reaching for it. Now, if you want to be locked into your golf game or any routine or event, check out the clothing line at pinsandaces.com. Bold, vibrant colors, comfortable 4-way stretch material when you're on the move, stylish but not over the top. And not just for golfers. Get the best deal you'll find right here. Use BTVW1. Use that promo code. We get a commission, you support our podcast, and you get a great deal. BTVW1. Shop now at pinsandaces.com. No Offence never became the giant hit it deserved to be. It built a loyal following instead, and to this day, fans talk about how different it felt from every other cop show on the air. Paul Abbott said himself, the show doesn't look like anything else. That is exactly right, and Joanna Scanlan sits at the heart of that balance, holding the whole thing together with a performance that seemed effortless. If you haven't seen No Offence yet, all 3 seasons are worth tracking down. Watch it for those scenes where everybody's talking at once and somehow you catch every word that matters. It's electric and amazing. Hey, before we go, I want to say hello to our listeners in Rockford, Illinois, USA, Antwerp, Belgium, and Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I visited Toronto years and years ago. I had relatives who lived there. Good to have you listening in Toronto or wherever you are. If you'd like to support this podcast, and we hope you would like to, check out our Patreon site. You can also support us by shopping at CozyEarth.com and PinsAndAces.com. Use our promo code BTVW1, and you get as much as 30% discount when you check out. Hey, that's it for now. Thanks for listening to the British TV Watch List. Till next time, cheers.
The British TV Watchlist is written and produced by Michael T. in Honolulu, Hawaii. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. All rights reserved. Copyright 2026. Michael T. Media.